I'm out here gathering firewood, and holy moly, look at these snow fleas. They're everywhere. Everywhere. Just fleas everywhere. I don't know if you can see that. Those little black speckles, but yeah, so this tree right here fell down naturally like a couple of years ago. So I think it's dry enough now for me to cut it all up and get us some firewood tonight, because I'm out of money right now, and usually I'll use the gas generator to fire up the space heater or get some propane, but a little broke right now, so we're gonna get some wood. And I'm never prepared for wood. I make the mistake every year of thinking I have enough by October, November, and then running out by like January. But the electricity had to go for now. But so we're gonna get some wood right now. Let's do it. should be pretty aged. It's been here over a year. Bring it back, Lou. You want a stick? Want a stick? Want a stick? Go get it. Bring it back, girl. So I gotta do that like 3 or 4 more times and I'll meet you guys over by the wood splitter. Got my wood. It's not always like this. It's not always like collecting wood, and at least the way I live. I usually, when I have power, it's so much easier because you know, I can use space heaters. I don't have HVAC here, but I can use like space heaters and like the diesel heater, you know, it requires electricity, but without the electricity, I also have propane heaters. I just can't afford to fill them right now, and that's where it's nice to have the alternate use for, or I'm tired. It's good to have options when it comes to heat, because you never know when you're going to run into these situations. I don't try to pretend like I'm doing this on purpose, you know, like I just like to have chickens and dogs and animals and grow my own food. I'm working on that better. I just want to show you like what it looks like day to day. I don't have access to my well right now because of the electricity, and I have to rewire it to a 120 to power it with the generator. But so I'm not gonna lie, right now I either get my water from the lake, if there's like a park by the lake and it's got like a pump. I made a short video on it, and I'll sometimes haul my water from there and then buy drinking water for myself and the animals, and then I'll use that water for like cleaning dishes and things like that. But normally I just go to like a friend or a family's house, but I try to avoid that as much as possible, because you don't want to be that guy who's like you know, all needy and stuff. Oh, can I get some water? Can I get this? You gotta do it on your own, you know. And it's good to have like neighbors that you're friends with, and people to help during like real situations like COVID. When COVID happened, my neighbors across the street here gave me like food that they grow and they can and all that stuff too. And it just it's nice when people help each other. And usually what I do is I work in construction, so I will trade labor often for like help or supplies or something like that. But lately I've just been trying to make it on my own, and me and the dogs here, I've been working a lot this week, and I got bills, you know, so like a lot of my money I make from work just goes straight into bills, you know. And with inflation right now and everything, it's just tough. I wasn't ready for this. I wasn't ready for like $14 a carton for eggs and stuff like that. It's just crazy out here. My chickens aren't laying eggs right now. I don't know why, but usually they at least lay like, you know, a handful a week. But people online have been saying that there's like something to do with the feed, like the chicken feed, and we all use the same chicken feed, that it's making the chickens not produce. So I don't know, maybe I'll try to switch their feed up and see what happens. But for now, I'm just using what I got. I usually buy like 3 or 4 bags for the month, and then every month I cycle it. So I'm just trying to give you guys a quick overview of how I live right now. Hopefully by summer I can save up some money, get my power turned back on, and it's definitely a lot easier on me. I have to haul the water, you know. It kind of sucks, you know. Usually I'll go to my mom's or a buddy's house, but I do that like once a week, and that I got about, I don't know, close to 10 gallons that'll last me like 3 or 4 days. And then I'll try to like buy like gallons just to have the extra stuff to refill. Let's see how much I can cram into one video. Let's split some wood and we'll get our fire going, and then we'll chat some more. Oh, I'm in the snow fleas. So like this splitter here, this is why it's so important to make friends with people, because hi baby, because like this isn't my splitter, this is my boss's actually. Come here. And he and his family, they have HVAC and everything like that, you know. So like he let me use the splitter because he knows that I do my wood stove here. So he's like, no problem, just use the wood stove or the splitter for the winter, and just bring it back whenever, because they only use it in the summer for like their family campfires and stuff like that. So this is like, you know, I take good care of it. I clean it every time I use it and stuff. I used it last night, so I gotta clean it before I use it again. But you know, if you're nice and, you know, you give as much as you take, you know, people will usually help you out, you know. And you got to be grateful, and you got to take care of their stuff. If somebody lends you something, take care of it. It's not yours. Pretend it's not yours, okay? Take care of it. Let's do this. Come on. Oh, you dumb dog. small pile like this. This will last me, I don't know, if I stopped with just this, it's about it's gotta be pretty close to a rick. Rick is a 4 feet high by 8 feet wide stack. Actually, no. Yeah, I think that's a rick. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's either a rick or a cord, but this will last me into the morning. And then like usually I don't care because I'm going to work. The dogs have fur and it doesn't really get that cold in the house. We've actually just been bearing it. Like only yesterday we actually had heat. A lot of you probably know what I'm talking about when it comes to money. The first week of the month is always the hardest, like when the bills come out. So sometimes, not always, like we just won't have heat for that first week, and we just bear it. It's like you just blanket up and snuggle with the dogs, and you just bear it. You know, it's not a big deal. More blessed than others. Some people don't have a house at all. You know, so there's that. But so I think we'll load some of this up, and we'll chat some more, just to give you guys an idea of like how it is. We'll go over some of the other like gory details of homesteading, and hopefully if you're deciding to homestead, you'll see this and, you know, get some ideas on like worst case scenario, because this is the worst case scenario you could be in right now. Come here, Jenny. And it's not that bad. If you have a will to survive, I mean, this is really easy. And like worst case scenario, I can sleep in my truck, I can call a friend or a family member, but you want to avoid that at all costs unless you're like literally on the brink of death. You know what I mean? Then you can call someone and say, yo, I need some help or whatever, you know. So let's get inside and get our fire going. All right, let's get some heat in here finally. Right now, with no heat, it says, or I'll just show you. It says that the time is wrong. I think that it's so cold in the house that the batteries like get cold and then the time's off. So it's not really that time. But 60 degrees in here at about 6 feet high, and there hasn't been any heat in here at all. So the house stays pretty warm. So we're gonna heat it up a little more because it's just cold. I haven't eaten yet today. It's, you know, it's rough. This is not an easy lifestyle, but it's definitely fulfilling. You know, I've done this, well, we'll talk about that in a minute here when I get the fire going, but I didn't intend to live like this off-grid type life. It just happened last couple months, like just as like, hang on, girl. See, they're like, feed us. I haven't even checked on my ducks or birds yet. It's just been a hectic morning. I had to go get water. This is my water for the weekend, right here. And I've abandoned my bedroom. I sleep on the cot here next to the fire on the cold nights. But I pretty much abandoned my bedroom at this point because it's just been too cold, and I can't heat the room from the living room here without fans, and you know, you need electricity for fans. But normally in my bedroom I use a space heater, and the dogs, they just won't stop bothering me because they want to play, they want to do dog stuff. But usually I'll have one space heater in the bedroom, either my propane heater or the wood stove, or both if it's like 10 degrees. And that's fine, it's fine. And like normally I live a normal life, you know, I watch TV, I go to work, you know. We'll talk about in a minute here once I get this going. Back up, sweetie. Once we get this going, we'll talk about why I started this channel and like other plans for content and stuff like that. Let's just get this going real quick. You guys can hang out with me. what I do is I'll take all these little twigs and just break them up and kind of pile them on. And then just kind of gradually get bigger. I don't always do it that way, but that's how I'm doing it right now. And I just use a basic torch lighter. Break the twigs up like this. Throw them on. Yeah. And then you just go like this. It's okay if you make a mess. We're gonna clean our mess. Always clean your mess. Ooh, right there. Oh. Always clean your mess when you're done lighting your stove. Lulu just loves to keep knocking the tripod around. She's kind of a diva. She's a good country dog. She likes playing in the lake and stuff like that, but she's a diva. She wants all the love, all the attention. Let's just throw this whole stack on there and just see what happens. So I'll just lock this. Like I said, I'm not doing this for any type of glorification or gratification or whatever. I'm from the city originally. I moved out here to the country like almost 10 years ago and just been learning as I go. There. So I'll just throw that in there like that, let that heat up. Just keep throwing it on. Look at this dog. Look at this doggy. Sweet girl. Little diva girl. There. See, it's really that simple. I just do the easiest route. See? It just locks. Then you go like this. We're not trying to be too impressive. We're just trying to get a fire going. I'd like to get into like the stuff you'll see, like bushcraft and stuff like that. We'll talk about that as well. I'd like to talk about what type of content I want to create and stuff like that, and what I was originally going to do. Throw one of these guys on there. So what I do with these sticks is I just walk out in the woods and start breaking off branches. Watch out, baby. Watch out. Here, let's show you what it looks like down here. We want to clean this mess. Let's clean. Cigarette butt in there. 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 Always clean up after yourself. The dogs are crunching their food abnormally loud. I don't know why. But, so one of the original reasons why I started Homestead Weekly, it was about 6 years ago. My intentions were to live what I call in my about section a modern homestead lifestyle, and that to me would represent like you still like have power. We're not talking about off-grid or anything like that. You still have electricity, you still have a TV and Wi-Fi and a cell phone and truck and a job and all that, but you're farming, you're raising chickens, and you know you're trying to be self-sufficient as much as you can. Now, my intentions for Homestead Weekly was to actually do that life. If you go back into 6 years into my videos, you'll see like, and I mainly do this for myself, really, and I just like to share it. You know, if people like it, they like it. If they don't, whatever. I still like it. I still like doing it. You know, social media has allowed us to document our lives like a digital scrapbook. You know, so like it's nice to go back and see like my first chicken coop build. I've built like probably 5 or 6 more since then, and like tore them down and upgraded and so on and so forth. So my original intentions anyways was to go around locally as well as my own and film and like report on other people doing homesteads. Because we have a lot of people around here who have chickens. Actually, like right down the street at like about 4 or 5 miles, the guy's got everything. He's got like goats, turkeys, chickens, ducks, geese, everything except large farm animals. And it's a really small place. That's the type of thing I'd love to go and like show you guys other people's lifestyle and how they do it, you know. But unfortunately, it just didn't turn out that way. And I got sucked into the workforce, and you know, now I'm kind of a slave to work, you know, and debt and credit cards, and you know what I mean. And but in this past month, without having power, it's kind of fueled me to like restart this channel in a new way. I'd still like to get out and interview people that have homesteads and get their insights, and because it's all about sharing knowledge, you know. So what this channel's now turned into is me trying to survive without power. That's pretty much it. I'm just trying to live without power because it's so ungodly expensive right now. I don't know why. I'm just one guy, you know. I got a refrigerator, TV. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know why they're charging so much, you know, and then with gas prices and everything, food costs, it's just a lot. Now, like the raw truth about homesteading in my 8 years now of raising chickens and dealing with wildlife and stuff like that, I do live in a national forest. So there's all the predators. You guys have probably seen like some of my shorts with the fox, and there's a lot of gory stuff I have on my security system before I lost power. That is like graphic, you know, like I've learned that you can't always, I have free range chickens, but you can't always free range them. Okay, sorry about that. But anyways, so there's a lot of like really graphic, gory things that go on, just living in the country in general. I don't know if it's if this happens with everybody, but with me, I've had, life is just dangerous, okay? Come here. Gosh, this dog, I tell you. Life is just dangerous. I mean, we take so many things for granted, like just not having running water for the past month has shown me, and we'll talk about all the details of my issue with water. It's shown me that like, wow, all those times I like left the water running while I'm brushing my teeth and let the shower warm up, you know, for a half hour. You know what I mean? I am lucky to wash my hands 3 times a day so I don't burn up all my water. You know what I mean? Like go through it all. But some of the gory stuff also is like I've had friends die recently that I work with that were doing something as simple as climbing a ladder. A friend of ours, he fell off a 6-foot ladder and died, broke his neck and died. He was, you know, it's just those things. And then my friend's dog, I've brought my friend's dog home, picked it up off the road because it got away, you know, and got hit. You know, I've had deer, injured deer, or those deer that have that brain issue. I forget what it's called. You know, when their brain like goes crazy and they're like slowly dying. It's not rabies, it's something else. Shush. I've had those kind of deer like stray into my yard and just you know, seizures and, you know, and died, smashed their head on the ground. I've had foxes tear apart my chickens because you can't always free range them. Like if you're not home, and it's a certain time of day, like dusk or dawn, the predators are out there. The foxes are out there. We have bears, foxes, wolverines. I have a video of a cougar walking through. It's from the summer, so I haven't posted it yet. It's an older video, but I'll probably post it in the spring so it blends in, you know, with everything, with the seasons. I don't like to mix and throw videos around. If it's something old that I want to show you guys, I'll show you it in the proper season. I don't know, it's just a weird OCD thing, I guess. But I've had my dogs like attack animals and go after predators. I've learned that I can't keep my chicken feed outside or in the garage. I can't keep it in the garage or outside. The raccoons want to find a way into the garage. They'll get in no matter what. And they'll whatever you do to keep your cans shut, they'll figure out a way to just tear them open or destroy whatever device you got, you know what I mean, that's holding your food in there. So I've tried keeping the food in cans on my porch here by the front door. And I've had, when I wasn't home, a bear come and take it and throw it all over the yard. So I have to keep my chicken feed inside now. And get down, girls. Gosh. What else is there? So like right now, it's really hard. Well, there's a lot we can get into, and I'd like to hear what you guys want to see as well, or if you want to see more just day-to-day detail stuff on what I deal with every day with weather and the chickens. And the reason like the chicken coop looks so ugly is because I've had to put things up, because no matter what, the foxes somehow break through it, or they'll jump over it, or you know what I mean. I've had a situation, I have it on camera, the fox sitting in front of the chicken coop, and this is when I had the double layer like I have now, without all the random wood around it to keep, because the animals can't climb the wood they'll just slide down it. And they can't dig through that wood, like the wire mesh. So I've had to like put like just random pieces of wood around it. It looks ugly, you know, and but I gotta keep them alive. And right now there's no budget to like make it look fancy. And like I said, I'm not trying to like glorify this or anything like that. This is just learning and doing it as you go, you know. Sometimes, especially if you buy chicks from the store, like not from like a heritage breed or something like that, or a hatchery, sometimes they just die for no reason. So you'll open the coop up one morning, you're late for work, and there's a dead chicken there. So if it's spring, you want to like get it buried right away. I don't like to like just throw my animals out in the woods. Some people do that. You know, they get a fowl or something, you know, they'll just chuck it in the woods for the other animals to consume, or they'll just eat it themselves. Sometimes I'll take some of my dead birds to a buddy of mine that he'll eat anything, you know. And most of the time I just bury my dead, you know. I have a little graveyard out there. The reality of your animals getting killed, whether if you know, like my dogs roam, like it's a pretty friendly neighborhood here. All the dogs kind of roam around. My dog's got a boyfriend. It's like maybe if I get him on camera one time, you'll see it's the cutest thing ever. She's like a big black lab mixed with this like little white terrier dog that the neighbor says his name's Charlie. So he'll come around and I'll yell out, Charlie. But I've had two cats in the past 2 years, one that I've had for like 6 or 7 years, run off. And I don't know where they're at. I don't know if they're coming back. It's still like, you know, hurts that, you know, like losing animals is the worst. It's hard. It's easier with ducks and chickens and stuff because you don't name them. But losing dogs and pets, it sucks. You know, these are our friends, you know. What I'd like to do this year is I want to make a bigger garden this year. the reality of that is that a lot of this stuff, unless you have the money to do it, you're doing it yourself. You're hand shoveling your garden, you're tilling it, you're renting equipment if you can. I'm gonna try to rent equipment this year, but if I can't, I'm gonna see if like a couple of our clients or my boss or someone wants to go in halves on a machine to rent, and we'll split it between our properties. That's stuff you can negotiate with your neighbors as well. Like if your neighbor has work they got to do on their driveway or whatever, and you need a skid steer or like a backhoe or something, you can ask your neighbor like, hey, if you're ever planning on redoing your driveway, let's split the cost of a skid steer for the day, and it'll be, I don't know, like $200 each, and you get a skid steer for the day. You split it like 6 hours or something like that. If you're serious about renting stuff, be prepared not to like sleep, because you can run it. If you live where we live, you can pretty much run it all night, and it's got lights, and if you're spending $400 for the rental, you just do it. These are just little ways to survive. I mean, I could go on and on for like hours about this stuff. Right now, how I like light my house at night is I got these like oil lamps. I've been getting into those, and then I'll use candles as well, like tea candles and stuff. But lately I've just been going to bed earlier because there's nothing else to do. I'll watch a little bit of YouTube or whatever. But right now I'm lighting mostly with the lamps, the oil lamps, and those cost roughly $17 a week for like the big jug of oil, depending on how much you use it, But yeah, I mean, let me know what you'd like to see from this channel. I'm just gonna do things the way I want to do it, and like change as we go. If you enjoy the content, then like, share, and subscribe, obviously. And if you've made it this far in the video, thank you. This is just me experimenting with the homestead lifestyle, and I appreciate your views, and any comments that you post is cool to I'll try to respond as much as I can. I gotta get back to work. It's my day off, so like I gotta still let the chickens out yet. It's only about that clock's wrong. I think it's only about like noon right now, so I got a lot done so far today. I should probably get more wood, let the chickens out. I got a lame duck right now that hurt her foot, so I got to clean that every day. It's just horrible, I say it's horrible, but like I'm not leaving this life. I still do it. So like you complain a lot sometimes, but it's like I could just stop what I'm doing and just sell my house and move to the city. That's the house too is another thing. Like I can tell you how I got the property and how I found it, and like how to get a homestead for really cheap, and make sure you read your laws and all that. And but that's a video for a different day. Please like, share, and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you'd like to see from Homestead Weekly. Have a nice day.